It's all about us. It's all about Dylan and his story. Read his story. I can't believe
I love this version of Plaschke.
Hello and welcome back to Dodgers Debate. I'm Jack Harris, the LA Times Dodger beat writer, along with our columnist Bill Plaschke and Dylan Hernandez.
Bring on the Phillies. Bring on the Phillies.
The Dodgers are on to the Phillies because they beat the Cincinnati Reds tonight 8-4 in the second game of this National League Wild Card Series.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
The game was so bad. It's so overmatched.
It was.
There's one good thing in this game. One good thing in this game. Dylan Hernandez. Roki Sasaki, the new closer. Dylan called it. Read his story about Roki's growing up in his past and his childhood. Tremendous story. Dylan, all prayer to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Plasch.
That felt more like, hey, this is one of the few times Dylan's right. Make sure we point it out. But you were, because at the end of a game that included Yoshinobu Yamamoto gets out of a huge jam in the sixth inning. And then we're right back where we were in game one of this series, where the Dodgers have been for a lot of the second half of the season, which is trying to figure out who they trust in the bullpen. And then Roki Sasaki comes into the game after a terrible eighth inning, in which they almost blow the lead. He gets a 1-2-3-9, 2 strikeouts, and gives the team that has so much confidence in the rotation right now.
Roki, the fans are chanting his name.
You know what was incredible about this? Was how Roki's status kept going up every time somebody else pitched, right? Like, he just kept climbing up the depth chart. By the time they gave him a standing ovation when he came in the game. When he came into the game, he got a standing ovation. He hadn't even pitched yet. It took 2 pitches for there to be a stadium-wide Roki chant. That's how desperate the fans were.
He was so good, though. I mean, what?
He's
the guy.
The team was.
He's the guy. He is.
Well, and he might need to be, because that to me is like the big takeaway from this, and why it feels different than game one, in which there was so much dread about how are the Dodgers possibly, someone might have wrote this, how are the Dodgers possibly going to win a World Series with this bullpen? But if you can just get, it's like what we've been talking about on this show for the last month. If you could just find like one guy that can give you something stable in the ninth that you can trust, then you can piece everything else together around that. Because
can you?
Well,
I mean, like, let's go back. I mean, the pivotal moment of the game, I thought, right, was in the sixth inning.
Bases loaded.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto loads the bases, and Dave Roberts does not move.
Does not move.
He is just like
I was stunned.
He was like a Buddha statue right there. He was like, I'm going to live and die by this guy. I do not want to touch my bullpen, which is basically what he's trying to say there, right? And Yamamoto pitched his way out of it. I mean, we were talking about, late in the regular season that Dave Roberts was bound to have a Grady Littlebone, and leaving in a guy too long. And this could have been it. I mean, they're not playing the Reds. This thing could go a little bit different, right? I mean, and I don't want to take anything away from Yamamoto, but they played a bad team. I mean, this is going to happen again.
Bad team,
Right? This is going to happen again, where it's going to be like the sixth inning, right? There's going to be traffic on the bases, and Roberts is going to have to decide, do I go to some guy that's been getting bombed the whole time, or
that's not going to be a decision. He's going to have to keep sticking with these starters.
Yeah.
Like, that's how this
but that is still kind of technically a decision.
I just know when Sasaki came in the game, it's the first time I felt like a World Series was doing her. It felt like a championship team with him on the mound in the ninth inning. For the first time all season, I felt like they can slam the door.
We've been saying they're going to win half the time.
You guys are flip-flop like 5 times.
I don't know if they beat the Phillies. I don't know.
But this is where, because look, you have a lot of confidence in the starting rotation, and they're gonna have to pitch at just like a ridiculous level for this team to win. But it feels possible. Like, you look at the way Blake Snell pitched last night. You look at what Yoshinobu Yamamoto did today, especially after Teoscar Hernández drops that ball in the first inning. He gives up the single, although it still had been pitched to Sal Stewart. And then he retires the next 13 in a row to allow the Dodgers to get back in the game. Shohei Ohtani's going to pitch game one of the DS. You feel good about that. Tyler Glasnow's still going to be part of the mix, which, if that's your number 4
and
starter.
in the post-game interviews, for the first time, Robert said, I think we can win it all. And Mookie Betts said, I think we can win it all. They both said that for the first time in the post-game interviews.
They did, and I think this is where it gets back to, if you can just have like one reliever that like we can get to this one guy.
That's so big.
And that's why last night felt so different. Because that eighth inning's happening, and it's just like, how is this ever going to stop? It was like the inertia of this collapse.
Who's going to save it?
That was only halted because Tyler Stevenson swung at bad pitches. Tonight, Alex Vezzi at least got out of one spot, and while there's a really weird, a 1-2 pitching change, it just speaks to how
I've never seen it
urgent and dramatic and desperate they are to
find.
find.
There's a mid-count pitching change and a mid-count pinch hitter.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
But Now you know, okay, if the starters can get us into the 7th, we can play 1 or 2 matchups the right way. We don't have to worry about the 9th because we have a guy like that.
Now, the question I have to you guys is how much, and Andrew Friedman spoke a little bit afterwards. Here's kind of his typically evasive self. Can he pitch back to back? We don't know yet, stuff like that. But I mean, do you run him, right? He's pitched twice in 3 days. Do you run him out back to back in the situations if you have to?
He's 14 years old. You
go multiple.
Every day.
Multiple innings.
The good news is you're probably not going to have to worry about this in the DS. The only games that are consecutive are games 3 and 4. If he has to go back to back, I'm guessing it's.
Do you go with him for more than 3 outs?
You could. I mean, again, depending.
I don't know if you do enough down with him. I don't know about that.
Right.
He's a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
That's what he's used to.
Well, but it's also kind of a little bit different, right? I mean,
it's a little different, but I don't think it's out of the realm of what he's capable of doing.
Because I guess because here's the thing, I guess, right? I guess until he went pitching in relief in the minors, the last time he had pitched in relief was in middle school, right? And so it kind of becomes this question:
you were there probably.
What's fair to the guy, right? In terms of how much can you demand from him?
Fair to the guy, it's whatever it's within reason, which I think, or is he going to pitch? Is he going to go 40 pitches one night and then 2 innings the next night? Probably not, but that's not really fair to anybody. I think you look at him at this point as a normal reliever, because you don't really have any other choice. And the big question to me is, honestly, if one of these outings go bad, how does he respond to that? Because this is still only 3 relief outings in the big leagues now, and they've all looked great. But there will probably be some adversity at some point, and I do wonder how he responds to that.
His stuff is just so overwhelming.
But that's
so overwhelming.
That's the key.
That was so loud. The fans were never into it more than when he was out there.
Yeah. The
you
command.
see everything. Here's a question: Are they good enough to beat the Phillies?
I mean, they're good enough.
I don't know.
I think it's probably
The Phillies.
like 55.
It's like a toss-up series to me.
Yeah, but I think I think the Phillies are on a mission for Bryce Harper to win him his ring. The Phillies made the 2 moves. The Dodgers did make it the trade deadline, getting the outfielder and the closer. The Phillies are a mirror image of the Dodgers last year.
I think they're at
A team with a chip on their shoulder. Trey Turner's back. Their line's deep. Their rotation's deep. I don't know.
I mean, they're tough. To me, that matchup, they don't have Zach Wheeler, and they do have good starting pitchers. Christopher Sanchez, if it wasn't for Paul Skeens, would be the Cy Young winner this year. They're all left-handed, which the Dodgers haven't been as good with this season. But I think the other takeaway from this series is the Dodgers did face a pretty good pitching staff. And they got to Hunter Green, and they got to Zach Littell, who might not be great, but is a veteran arm. And they got to Nick Lodolo, and they kept adding on. And that's the thing that, for all the pitching questions, the reason that these bullpen issues in this series weren't bigger problems is because the offense was able to score and tack on runs and build leads and give themselves some breathing room. And I think the way that they've played over the last couple weeks coming into the playoffs and then in this series gives me some confidence that they can put together a good game plan against these Phillies starters. They can put some runs on the board there. And if their starters can outpitch the Phillies, which is possible, then it comes down to, okay, can you tiptoe around a few very specific bullpen situations in which you're going to need guys like Blake Trinan and Alex Vezina, Emmett Sheehan probably, even though
He was
really discouraging.
If they can beat the Phillies, I think they win the World Series.
And I would agree with that.
I think this is their World Series right now. That's 5 games.
So this is the equivalent of last year's Padres series to you?
Yes, if they win it, they win it all.
Yeah. All right, well.
We'll see.
Roki Sasaki is around.
Read Dylan Hernandez's story on Roki Sasaki. It was last March.
Yeah.
March of LA Times.
I just retweeted it.
It should be one of the
tonight. I'm very opportunistic.
It should be the most read story in our section tomorrow. His story on Roki
Paywall
Sasaki.
on this now.
Read it. Don't miss it. It's an unbelievable story.
All right. Dodgers are going to Philly. Game 1 will be on Saturday. We will be there for that. And another extended run. Look, the good news is the first 2 years we tried to do the show, the Dodgers played for about 2 minutes in October and got knocked out. So at least they're letting Dodger debate stretch its legs.
It's all about Dodger debate
for a second straight postseason.
It's all about us. It's all about Dylan and his story. Read his story. I can't believe
I love this version of Plaschke.
So you already tweeted your story out?
I did.
Good Lord.